Hey guys, we're back with another brand breakdown even. I'm excited about this one. This is a 9-figure juggernaut. There's a lot of nuance here in this brand that is very actionable for building brands today to succeed. So I'm excited to get into it. Now, just for a bit of context, I'm a 7-figure entrepreneur. I own a business that sells products, i.e. building brands, and I own a company that helps clients sell their products in an agent. So first things first, let's see what the revenue is at. Let's see how it is. So this is Bloom Nutrition. So we're going to pump data dive on this and get the ball rolling. Now it is December 3rd today. So let's see what the revenue, we're obviously in the supplements niche here. Obviously January will be New Year 2026 and also a good time for a brand like this and our clients that are in supplements. Okay, why is this not doing it? Maybe I'm on I think it's because I was on the VPN, and the reason I was on a VPN is because I'm trying to access the TikTok, and I believe TikTok is very geo locked, like it won't show me US if I'm in a different country. Okay, so look, let's open the second page here. We've got over 7 mil a month last 30 days. What am I seeing here? So a heavy hero SKU, and this is something we'll talk about a little bit later on. So this is this SKU here. Now this SKU has a hell of a lot of flavors, and it is a green powder. So this is by far their hero SKU. And as we know, if they get a hero SKU that can bring in a lot of traffic, change your life basically, but change the fortunes of a brand. And you really want to get a hero SKU, particularly in the launch of a new brand, and they can make everything easier afterwards. So what else are we seeing here? So very hero SKU dominated in a big niche. It's obviously the green powders. This one was launched 5 years ago. So this brand is not that old, really. 2019 was when it was launched. You can see all of its products were launched hero in 2020, but most of them were all within the last few years. So they're really starting to dominate. Now I'd probably imagine that this might just be new SKUs. I don't know if they launched all of their products in 2024 or 2025. So when you launch a new SKU, it's going to say Amazon and Data Dive are going to say the listing is new, but it might be an older listing, which is what I expect here. However, 5 years old on this one. So let's come back in here. Let's have a look, get a couple of the things off the bat. So it's known as a viral TikTok brand, but it didn't really come from the virality. It is an Amazon first brand, and this is actually what we like. This is what we do. TikTok didn't create Bloom. TikTok amplified a machine they'd already built. So we will have a look at TikTok a little bit later on too. And we will look. So brand snapshot 2019, green powder, women's everyday wellness, hero SKU, Bloom greens and superfoods, Amazon scale. So just a couple of the features of being a brand here. And that is 30,000 reviews, creating a moat, no doubt. 100, 300 reviews weekly. Top 3 ranking for all primary keywords. Green powder, super green, daily greens, high in stock discipline. Preventing ranking resets. I'm not sure if this is a bit of a hallucination by ChatGPT here. We are following a very strict structure of completed a framework for analysis. But we know ChatGPT can hallucinate, so I'm going to just remove this. It probably pulled it in from an article maybe somewhere, I don't know. But I'm not going to focus on their stock because I don't know. Flavor-led variation, okay, we know this, why it matters. So, big one here just in the snapshot. Bloom shows how a brand can dominate a hyper-competitive category by combining Amazon fundamentals with a clear demographic and aesthetic lane their competitors ignore. So what does that mean? We'll touch on that in just a moment. And it also just goes to show as well, like our clients and like I've just seen not every brand work, obviously not every brand works, but brands in like hyper-competitive niches. It works. The volume is there. And I can understand it when you're getting started on Amazon. You want to like tap into a niche that's maybe a bit more underserved. But if you can do something which Bloom have done, take a competitive market, a growing market, importantly, trending upwards, and then come in here and do a twist on it. And we'll show how they done the twist in just a moment. But it is targeting into these guys here. So Amazon Playbook. So let's have a look at the good stuff. Let's go on and to our bread and butter here and have a look what makes them so good. So we've opened up their listing. First, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the search results because I'm always fascinated by how these search results look. So we've got Xena is taking the sponsored brands, at least on this session that I'm on now. We've got a very Athletic Greens looking competitor here, which is a quarter of the price or less. So this is interesting, but it definitely gives this vibe. It's interesting that they're next, that they're beside each other. We've got Huel in here, obviously a big brand out of the UK as well. And then I'm not sure who these guys are. But if we keep scrolling, we move past the ads, we get into the organic. Overall pick, Amazing Grass. Okay, quite cheap though. So me, my clients, community members, generally, not everyone, we want to have a premium brand. We want to be able to, like, one of the big things about having a premium brand is there's more margin, okay? Oh, we're in business to make money, so that's great. But it gives you margin to invest back in the product, you know? And I know sometimes you got to pay a premium to get a great product. The ones with no margin in it, like how much is in their R&D budget for new formulations? How much is in that for like the quality of ingredients? Probably not a lot, you know? So what do we see here? In a slightly different color green. To me, and I don't know about you, these are definitely very similar. Well, it's actually the same brand, so that makes sense. The green is same. This is kind of similar. This is a little bit of a lighter green. I like it. It stands out. This looks good. And 10,000 units bought. A lot of reviews. These have more reviews here. But what do we notice? This is the higher priced one. The highest priced one on the top organic positions, which is beautiful. So if we look at it from a positioning standpoint, right? We've got the top dogs, the Shopify first brands, and that would be AG1 and Huel. Obviously AG1 was the daddy basically, and that we see everywhere on YouTube. And then we've got Huel, but these are like higher priced products, you know. Now Huel's a little bit lower than AG1, but they're competing in a different space, you know. And what is interesting as well is the masculinity of those brands too. These are more masculine, you know. So even though they might have been around, I'm not actually sure when Huel was created. But even though they've been around for a while, they're not serving women, you know. They're not serving women. And this is, see, it's a lighter color. It matches up. Got some pinks in there. So if you are a woman and you're scrolling through it, you're going to pick up on that pretty quickly. Versus this is like darker, you know. Like it's just a more masculine color. And something that men will happily purchase. So positioning, big dogs here, top price, right? We can't really compete with those guys. Well, you could if you wanted to go, I would say, Shopify first strategy. But if you were going Amazon first here, we want to be premium priced while still being competitive. We're higher priced than the rest of the market. Okay, so if I scroll up here, $20, $20, $30, $20. We're in here, bestseller. So that's beautiful. And we'd be doing a hell of a lot more revenue than these guys. Look, watch. I don't know that for sure, but I know we'd be doing a hell of a lot more profit. So I'm right in both respects. So they're doing a hell of a lot more revenue by country miles. Maybe Amazing Greens or Amazing Grass is coming in next. But they're also going to be doing more profit. Now, where is, interestingly, AG1 and Huel? I would love to see that. I'll just open it up now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to open it because I want to see what they're doing off of it. So if I duplicate this tab, I'm trying not to press their ad. If they have anything that's not an ad. Okay, I'm going to have to click their ad because I can't. No, I won't. Let me go up here. AG1. Let's have a look. I want to see how much volume these guys are. Did I just... Oh, no, that's because we just viewed it. AG1 Inc. So I'll need to remove that. So let's pump this. Let's see what they've got. 2.5 million. So not actually a huge amount of volume. So I would imagine these are just ticking the box, right? They're ticking the box, trying to get on Amazon, trying to at least get some presence. But they ain't top dog on Amazon. Bloom are kicking their ass. Now let's have a look at how important mobile traffic is. So I want to go through this specifically. Mobile traffic dominates on Amazon more and more over the years as well. So you've got to know your sessions. It could be 70% mobile. So how it looks on mobile is more important than desktop, which is ironic because all of the agencies and all of the creators, by and large, are creating this content on desktop. So this is something that is often overlooked and something that you should be checking very regularly because it will change. Things will change on the search. Mobile search will change and then the desktop search will stay the same. So you get the sponsor brands video at the top of this one here for green powders. We keep going. You got Proper, again, the AG1 lookalike at a quarter of price. Oxy Greens, Huel, again. What else have we got? Where are we? So we've got the Rufus in here as well. Top reviewers by customers. So interesting. Top rated greens for energy. So we got Rufus in here, which we didn't have before. And it's performing very slowly as well. Cool. So it's showing it in the actual. I'm interested to see how this plays out because this is going to get more and more adopted. You'll notice that Organifi, another big brand, you'll notice that Bloom's not really in this. So if this, before this was here, they might have been up here, but now with the Rufus and people clicking in here, the first fold, as in the first 4 positions, are crucial. Okay, overall pick. So we're a hell of a lot down the page here now. I say we, well, I guess we're looking at it from the perspective of Bloom today. So we're just not in here. I don't know what's going on. So it just goes to show you need to be looking at these things on mobile, because I'm going to search this again. I'm kind of taken back. Greens powder is the word, I guess. It's not green, but we're looking at the sponsored. Is this sponsored? It's not sponsored. Now, what you'll see here on the mobile, again, we've finally got to it. We've got this organized by brand, all right? So this is where you have to have that brand presence in a niche, because they've got 2 other products here, right? They got the first one, they got the second, which is a flavor. See all. So we can click in here, right? It's a pity we're looking at competitors advertising on it. And we're in Bloom's. Again, they're trying to take you out of this. I can't. Amazon should really give, it should really give the like branded search, because this is basically like a branded search. I click to see Bloom, right? I should be seeing Bloom. I should not be seeing this guy up here. Or the other ones here. It just doesn't make sense. I can only see one product. I see more competitors than I see. There's 4 here, there's 1 there before I get to Bloom's products. So I just think they need to really be looking at this. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It makes sense for them to get more clicks, maybe for ads, but you really should be just showing the brand that people are trying to find. Okay, so we can see it here. All right, so I'm going to back out here, right? How do I back out? If I can go back on this. And I'm going to just click into the product so we can see it on mobile. So you can see it looks great. Everything looks pretty good. We have the Bloom brand at the top. With the servings, looks good. Price history, so this is probably not a genuine discount. Because if it was a genuine discount, then the current price, but there was a significant drop Black Friday week. So they had a price reduction last week, but it has not been above 35. So this is not a genuine discount. It's the list price here. And that's why it's not showing in the big red discount coupon part that we see. So we keep going. We got some competitors here. The proteins, our old friend that we looked at before. So the bullets here are a lot smaller. Like you might not even see the bullets. Top highlights. This is some AI. Digestive benefits videos. So what are they showing off the brands? We see Mari again. This looks good again. So this looks nice. And this actually makes a lot more sense as well, because we looked at it on desktop a few moments ago. But this big text is really suits mobile. And we've got to remember as well, like what do people have on mobile that maybe they don't have on desktop, right? Notifications, the short attention span, things distracting them. You know, I think there's a type of viewing in Hollywood when they're creating films that I heard about last week, whereby I can't remember the exact term, but they basically assess the film on how easy it is to watch while you're on your phone. Because that's how most people are watching films these days. So how easy is the plot line to keep up the speed with while you're on your phone checking doom scrolling, which is pretty sad, really, you know. So they're dumbing down plots and movies because people have a short attention span and they're on their mobile a lot. So we're getting a sample of that here. But again, we want to convert, we want to make most money, and this is how you do it. So this looks good. I mean, you can't, everything works well for mobile. This is kind of small, but this still looks good. I can read it, but I have pretty good eyesight. A lot of competitors here. But anyway, mobile looks good, and a job well done for them. So let's pop back onto our desktop. Huel. Let's have a look at Huel and see where they're at. So you're seeing 2.5 million from AG1. Let's have a look at Huel. See what they're working with. 1.4 million. So look, these guys are doing a lot more revenue off of Amazon, and they're a little bit higher priced here as well. We know Amazon likes the products as cheap as possible. Still very possible to be premium, but some of these are ultra premium. Like AG1 is ultra premium, you know, and that's off Amazon mostly. Okay, so coming back in here, let's come back and let's have a look at the listing. So let's see what we've got here. So the greens powder, let's have a look at their images. So we obviously like this one. #1 greens brand in the USA. So by far, if you can have a statement like this on the packaging, gold dust, on the packaging and on the search results, you know, like beautiful. It doesn't really get any better than that. Now they've got the ingredients and stuff here. Okay, great. Based on weight, not canister size. Okay, all standard stuff. 38 gut healthy ingredients. So the gut is a big one. You will also notice as well, if you look at Google Trends, gut problems are on the rise. So if you look up bloating, if you look acid reflux, these types of things, the chart just goes like this. Kind of in line with the advent of mobile phones and social media, but it's a big selling point for a lot of people if you're tapping into this angle. People with gut problems, because there is more and more. Tropical and juicy mango, okay. This looks good. Relieves bloat, supports gut health. Okay, again, we've got the same type of things here. Maybe they've been looking at the same research that I've been looking at. And this is the founder here, #1 greens brand. I believe she is English, if I'm not. I think I've seen an interview earlier. Annual sale. So yeah, got to substantiate what you're saying, but they have that. Now let's look at off the fold or off the page. No, not that one. 9 videos. So they're going to have a lot of the affiliates here, or the Amazon affiliates, the commissions here. So these are their own videos, Bloom Nutrition.
As a certified nutrition coach, there aren't many products I can stand behind, but Bloom screens is one.
So these are all...
Hi guys, I'm Mari Llewellyn, co-founder of Bloom Nutrition, and these are... Hi guys, it's Mari, the founder of Bloom Nutrition. Our greens are our best selling product for good reason.
Yeah. So this would be paid.
As a certified nutrition coach, there are...
She would be on their books somehow. So all possible. Okay. What else we got here? So you look at the main image, you looked at the title. Obviously these are big words, the big keywords. Digestive, gut health, bloating relief, chlorella, green juice. And #1 in spirulina supplements. A lot of flavors, which is interesting for a spirulina supplement, because it's not something that I would assume spirulina would have to taste the same, but not the case. So there you are. Definitely innovative. I'm just dropping no featured offer packs, 30 pack, 60 pack. Subscribe and save. Do they have anything subscribe and save in their A+? So a thing that you can use in your A+ is basically put in subscribe for 10% off. Because some people miss this function here. They might just go straight to add to cart. And the A+ is a good place to put in something like that. Or you could run a bigger discount. I mean, you can run 20%, 25% for first subscription, which can be really effective for growing subscribers and can be used in phases. Okay, bullet points, quite big, right? 30 good, health benefits, delicious coconut flavor, daily greens routine, female founded. This is obviously one of the demographics that has allowed them. Now, I don't know if this created it. Anytime I see a double dash now, I just assume ChatGPT, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It can be used in the right arenas. Arena is not the right word, but it can be used in the right situations. But I can't help but think it. So again, founder driven here, beautiful aesthetic, packaging, lovely colors, all feminine as well, which is what they're trying to serve. You know, again, AG1, Huel, they don't have that. They don't have it. Different brand serving a different demographic. Therefore, is this a blue ocean? Is this something that is untapped? Obviously, there was probably supplements for women before, but someone that really went in and captured it and spoke directly to that customer or that consumer. It's clearly what's happened. Again, beautiful, big branding, brand logo, very big. Make good choices, okay. Some lifestyle, one scoop daily. Very simple. We've seen this with other big brands. We've seen this with, who did we see it with? Was it Pet Labs? We've seen it with Golly. There's another couple of brands we've seen it in. Not overcomplicating things, you know. Better than ever. I know backed with a new science-based probiotic for enhanced support and health and digestion. It's a pretty big claim there. You know, I wonder where the evidence on that is. But anyway, I mean, if you have it, then you got to use it. Again, the social credibility, the authority, and the target demographic right here. Again, obviously you want your lifestyle photos to be your target audience. And then #1 greens, big authoritative statement here. People will be getting FOMO, fear of missing out, by not purchasing this. So they're doing it right. And then the founder led here as well. So Marie, lost 90 pounds, transform my life through fitness, help others do the same, high quality. Again, very simple. Again, a great story, very simple. And like I've spoken about a few times before, you don't need to be a scientist to launch a supplement brand. You know, if you have an area or a niche, doesn't have to be supplements, it could be anything, where you know a bit about that, where you're a bit passionate about it, you have a bit of a story there, that can be a brand in itself, and that can be what can make you stand out. You know, so she's done an incredible job here. Incredible job. So you got to take your hat off here. Okay, so this is going to be some of the videos we talked about above. Reviews, etc. All right. So we had a look here. So what's next on our list? Amazon Playbook. So yeah, clear, simplicity, dominating the keywords. So again, 80-20 here. Full domination of the top terms. Super greens, powders, green supplements, daily greens. I mean, these are all huge. So I can get in daily. Pushed. Greens. Sponsor brands video. Now the problem is I'm skewing with the results already. So they're going to be here. Or maybe they're going to be a little bit lower down, are they? Have I passed them? Did anyone see them? Pushed. Is that them? No. I'm going to do a Bloom. What am I searching here? Where is it? Okay, Bloom. This is it here. Bestseller. So we've got the bestseller badge, which is pretty big. 33 here. I'm not sure why that would be. Flavors. Okay, cool. So we had a look at that. Consolidation increases ranking. Density improves ad efficiency. Yeah, so look, 80-20, we know that you would see it in your search term reports as well. Majority of sales are coming through like, I don't know, maybe 5 keywords, maybe 10 keywords, but it's a very small amount of keywords. So you've got to make sure, especially in hyper-competitive markets, you've got to make sure that your bids, your placements, your content is all shaped for those top markets. No longer is this blanket approach where you come in with like generic features, generic content, generic ad strategy. That just doesn't work anymore. Now, if we take this for an example, and I've seen this with big accounts. So I've seen accounts, one of our client accounts does 3 million a year, right? And I was looking at their ad placements yesterday, and their top of search is performing. So the conversion rate on I think it was the rest of search or product pages was like 10 to 12%, and their top of search was 23%. Now these were terms that were driving over $30,000. Trying to get a time period. I'm not sure in the time period, but again, it was a big brand, multi-7-figure, $3 million brand. And the top of search was converting at almost twice the other placements, which is obviously huge, right? So not every market is like that, but it really pays then to be nailed in and focused on these consolidated terms. And this is where you're going to really capture market share in those markets, getting the content dialed in, getting the placements, getting the bids, getting the creative for the sponsor brands. Increase your market share over time. Make it difficult for competitors, at least. Make it difficult for competitors. It's a fun thing I always remember, but I used to watch a lot of football in Premier League. It's like, okay, you want to play great, sexy football, and well and good, but start by making it difficult for the competition. Make it difficult for your opponent. Same in chess as well. I mean, we can all try and play the hero moves, but at the very least, I want to make it difficult for the opponent to play against me. I want to cover the squares, cover the placements, make sure that they're not able to move freely, and that's just the way it is. So, lessons for founders, rank power built through focus, spoke about this. Velocity, I'm not sure how they're doing review velocity. I think this might be a hallucination by them. So I think we can safely ignore this. What I will say is some of their external, so their Shopify as far as email list, their TikTok traffic, anything external where they're capturing the email address and the data, they can use that to get reviews, of course. So that's a big strategy versus if you're just purely Amazon. And obviously if you're speaking directly to a buyer avatar. So in this case, we're talking about women. We looked at a buyer avatar, looked roughly between 25 and 40, maybe 20 and 40. In the testimonials on the second last fold of the A+. If they feel understood, if they feel listened to, they're way much more likely to leave a very positive review than if you're just generic. You're not actually speaking to any one person, you're just targeting the whole market. We have great spirulina, we have great da-da-da. You're not speaking to any one person, so the people are not going to be delighted. You'd rather have a smaller group of raving customers is a lot better than, again, within reason, let's say a larger group of kind of neutral people, because that's the first one is a brand. Second one, is it a brand? Is it transient? You're sure? Damn sure it is. So it's just not a brand, you know. So and then doubling down on the raving fans, which is exactly what's happened here. So pricing and positioning. So we spoke at the pricing already. Again, they're premium on Amazon. They're not ultra premium as we see with AG1, but they're top dog on Amazon here. And the reason is they are got their positioning and their pricing on point. Coupon strategy, I don't know this for sure. Variation, not sure about this. 3 to 5 tactics, consolidate spend. Yes, this makes sense. Use variations. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. Retail level creative to improve conversion rates. So building content is kind of tapping into like branding. So building content that not only works for Amazon but works overall, because ultimately if you're a multi-channel, if you diversify and build a brand with real value, you can obviously build real value on Amazon, but as a way of multiplying that quickly can be multi-channel. Now, that means your branding has to suit everything, you know? You can't be using like cheap gimmicks and hacks if you're selling in Walmart and Shopify and Amazon in the same way as you're just focused on one. You know, you might use something that's very native to the platform. And you should tailor this in, but the by and large brand and content has got to be suited to all. So retail level creative. And obviously you want that consistency. You want people to recognize there's Bloom. Oh, there's Bloom in Walmart. There's Bloom on Shopify. There's the ad on Meta. That's Bloom. Boom, boom, boom. Constant reinforcement of the brand. Invest heavily in sponsor brands, video, sponsor brands, placement. So yeah, sponsor brands video, to me, it's hit or miss. So it works in some markets, doesn't work in others. It's quite far down the page. So this is a panacea here. Sponsor brand headlines, by and large, work very well. We see this working pretty well. Again, there's specific cases where it doesn't. And it's actually interesting the way certain niches do perform well in this. But I guess it depends on the makeup of the market, the competition, who else is bidding on it, what their creative is, etc. So again, sponsor brands, video can work, be hit or miss. Sponsor brands, headline placement, generally really good for that brand presence. They see it at the top. Again, sponsor brand video come up at the top as well, but the sponsor brand headline shows everything there is to see already in one snapshot, basically, whereas the video you have to play through it. So they see it here and then they come down and they see it again. They see it in the organic, see it in sponsor placements, whatever it might be. Reinforcing the brand, reinforcing the product, and that's when they make a purchase. Okay, so let's keep pushing on here. So D2C, Shopify. So these are Amazon first, but they have, of course, got a heavy TikTok playbook. They do run Meta ads. They do have Shopify. So again, for brevity here and keeping things moving, let's have a quick look at their homepage, but then also the most importantly, their product pages, and see what they're working with. So bundles. It's a little blurry on my side, but I mean, still on brand. This looks really nice here. Again, bestsellers. And I'm starting to realize, well, the more brand development that these big brands have, that 9-figure, 8 have, the more eager they are to just stick the product in your face, you know, to get that purchase, because they've already got you're already pre-sold in many respects, you know, versus when you're not colder audience, that's when you would have some warming up. So let's say you've got a landing page, something to warm up the customer, whereas you can't send them direct to a PDP. But in this case, they've basically got products in the second fold because they have a great brand. Okay, so this is Mary, isn't that her name is? Again, this is not a particularly professional photo, but it's very human. It's quite blurry, in fact, but it's very human, you know, and it's obviously well appreciated. Here's the places there: Ulta Beauty, Target, Sam's Club, CVS, Walgreens. So like, just goes to show the retail distribution, how powerful this is. Save 10% with wellness on repeat, 10% off for the order. So getting that repeat customer lifetime value is important. Bloom into yourself, so they're targeting different areas here, which makes sense. Some energy drinks as well, which are obviously very popular when you think of Celsius and Prime, etc. And then we've got some UGC here, so some customer reviews, which always look good. This has been a focus of ours recently, as far as UGC. And then, yeah, very simple here. Now, what I want to do very quickly is I want to jump on, have a look at their product display page and see what they've got. So let's pick bestsellers. I want to see the best of the best. Now, give me what you got. Super green gummies, would they really be the best? Well, let's find out. 11 reviews. So this is a new SKU, right? Oh, what do you launch a new SKU into a competitive market? Don't even give me that. Don't give me it. Just launch it, baby, and get it, tap into that massive volume. #1 green powder in USA. So really using their Amazon volume here, and they're by far the top on Amazon. And they've got a really nice product display page here, a couple of badges. As we know, people love badges, images. So again, this is one thing I didn't mention here, but very aesthetic, very aesthetically pleasing on the eye, right? And in ways that some of the other brands have not had before. Something pink, obviously feminine, green, stands out. These are brands that work well in discovery. Why is this still on my page? In TikTok, etc., which we'll look at in just a second. Kind of a bit of a retro vibe here as well. Now, what did we talk about a little bit earlier as far as the demographic? So we looked at their product page and we can see probably from age 25 to 40, I would say, is probably their most popular demographic, and then women, of course. So what are they doing on the website? They're doubling down on that. Are they trying to serve everyone? No, they're not. And if they've got them raving fans, which it's very clear they do. Again, this is a nice little one as well, comparative one. Super green gummies. So they're adding some differentiation here. So as far as like people that are in a product aware stage of the funnel, when they're looking for gummies, they're looking for products. So maybe they're comparing, I don't know, Golly or Bloom here. This is where they start to differentiate. So they're not tapping into people that are completely unaware of the product. They're tapping into people that are aware of the product and that they're trying to sell them people, And this is how they're doing it. Trying to differentiate, okay? From our founder. So very founder-led brand here. And it works. Supplements, okay, and just FAQs here. So again, any objections the customer's facing before they make a purchase, this is where you address them, You're going to understand that for even in touch with your customers. So again, we got a review, we got a photo right off the bat, and some additional add to cart here. This is nice, pretty nice. So let's have a look at their TikTok. So they're sending their tweet, and they've had some pretty big viewed videos, all right? So this is their recent TikTok. Again, the views are pretty standard here. Let's look at the last time they had maybe a viral. This one's pretty good. Again, they've got some Brett Shody. Let me just see. Okay, so they're obviously deep on the influencer marketing. Probably got some brand ambassador programs going on here, which makes a lot of sense. But no viral ones at least very recently. I mean, 50k and 70k now is pretty big by and large. 329k, 274, 1.5 million. So, I mean, these are a good streak here. Let's see what's in this one. TikTok shop new arrivals, Bloom. Bit about the production, looks very cool. I like it. Nice. Okay, so it's beautiful. Oh, why is this gone back up to the top? Oh, you just watched. Let's see this one as well. 2.4 million. I don't think I need to explain that one. So obviously Spanish, huge demographic, particularly in the States. We look at the most popular ones. So that would have been one of them, 2.4 million. So you get a lot of Spanish search volume on Amazon actually. So it can be very tap into that. 5.6 million, 5 million. So these are the founder ones. Now, I was doing a coaching session with a D2C guy that done over 100 million on Meta, and he actually recommended for one of our clients to run founder-led ads. So we can see why. It works. 5 million views on that, so that's pretty incredible, right? And there's another one of her just in the doubling down on that authority. Beautiful merchandising. Look at how much that stands out. If you look at that there, or landscape, I don't know what you'd call that. But if you look at the view there, it stands out in the shop. It's beautiful. And they've done a great job. So, D2C, Shopify. Very quickly, we'll have a look at their meta as well. Let's see how they're running ads. So I didn't see a huge amount of ads here, quite honestly. ShipBob. Scale to a 9-figure brand. By the way, I found out on that the ShipBob does international as well. So I didn't realize it. I thought it was just America. Let me just click on a couple of these and see what we've got as far as... So go straight to the product page. Again, what did I mention there a few minutes ago? Those with like fantastic branding tend to just ship straight to the product page. People are not so cold. The traffic's already warmed up and they're already aware of it. So it doesn't need as many touch points. You can get them to convert straight away, which is obviously exactly what these are doing. Pretty small as far as the traffic so far. Usually with Meta, you see a huge amount of ads. So this is actually quite small. diversification here. Bloom Nutrition. Let me just search this again to make sure I'm not. I think I've done something wrong there. Exact phrase. Yeah, I definitely do not want another phrase. Why is that coming up like that? Something going on. So these are all the ads there running. So I didn't see anything else here. It just dropped. Again, it's going to bring it to the product page, is it? Yep. So quite simple here. They're using some UGC. Even some statics here as well. Nothing too crazy. Static video. Nothing too crazy. It's a 4-second video. It's not even a video basically. But they probably have something, if I had to guess here, because it's only 4 seconds, they probably have something around like retargeting people that are on the screen for at least 4 seconds, would be my guess. Because it's not a long video. And nothing happens in it. Something does happen. Again, probably have something, if this is going on to Instagram as well, if they watch the whole video, then they retarget them. So, makes sense. Alright, Bloom's D2C, TikTok, meta ads, and we obviously have their volume here as well. So nearly 200,000 visitors a month. Now this is October, so I don't have November yet. But 200,000 visitors a month. Maybe they have, I seen 0.33 conversion rate there, but I don't think that's probably true. I would imagine they would have a conversion rate maybe 3 to 5%. And then the subscribers as well. They would have a lot of people on subscription and that lifetime value. So even they don't need to be profitable on the first purchase. Guarantee, okay, yeah, Yes, so use DTC data to refine Amazon Creative. Yes, so they're obviously getting a lot of data. We do have brand analytics on Amazon, but they're obviously getting a lot of data on Shopify, a lot of data on TikTok. And this works well from product strategy perspective. UGC, so we've seen that. Retention architecture early to increase LTV. So obviously it's going to be around the subscribers, etc. I'm not sure I see much architecture, but they are speaking direct to the customer. And as we know, that resonates the target audience. Optimized DTC for mobile first. Okay, very nice. Paid media demand generation. So a lot of this is on TikTok. Obviously, as we've seen earlier, a lot of it is on TikTok. A lot of well-watched videos. So big part of their strategy is TikTok. And let me just have a little look there out there. 642,000 on Instagram. So again, big Instagram strategy as well here. And obviously the meta ads show on Instagram too. So that's key. So influencer marketing, branded search. Yes, so look, when you're running these type of external traffic, even if you run the Shopify, it gets people bought into the brand. And this is what's going to increase branded search on Amazon. One of the guys I follow, I haven't seen anything in a while. But Simple Modern, I think his name's Brian Porter, but obviously speaks about a large portion of how Simple Modern, like $100 million plus. I know what you'd call them, like a flask. There's a word for it anyway, but I can't remember the word. But like flasks, etc. A large portion of their traffic comes from brand, and that allows the game to be played a lot easier if a lot of people are searching for the brand already, versus everything coming from like targeting the search terms. So branded search volume, sign of a good brand. Organic, yes, it's going to increase organic as well. Make your acquisition cheaper, higher review volume, stronger keyword stability. Yeah, makes sense. And you've kind of got all of those sources and you can just like lever them. So I do some Aikido there, but it kind of is Aikido. Kind of lever where you want to boost things algorithmically. 2 to 3 creative patterns to test. Okay, I mean, BroGPT's recommend a few of these. But yeah, attention grabbing UGC is going to be good here. Investment expansion. So Bloom Scale enabled strategic expansion to Target, Walmart, global distributions, their internationally merchandising partnerships. So they've used their Amazon search volume to basically get this. If they have top dog on Amazon, it's a very easy sell for retail distribution and international expansion. I mean, why they already have the volume. I know of people that are already doing this or have done this as well. Get some volume on Amazon, then go to retail, start going to events and get retail. Now we've got this amount of volume on Amazon. What do you think of getting retail distribution? This is the approach. So not something to be sniffed at, getting volume on Amazon. Profit from Amazon caps growth, Bloom used it, okay. Amazon's unlocked, so it makes sense. Funnel integration, the United flywheel. Okay, so we spoke on this already with TikTok and Meta generate awareness, Amazon captures demand, D2C builds retention, subscription, retail enforces trust, variations increase category depth, review velocity compounds ranking, and compresses ad costs, and let's say branded search. Margin funds more media, fuels external demand. So look, you start adding these up. This is a systematic approach, you know. It's not like, oh, just do this one thing and then do something else. These are all working together, you know. Each one of these is going to benefit. This benefits this, this benefits this, this benefits this. It all benefits each other, you know. So you want to be intentional with your brand building and you want to be systematic. Okay, so if we're looking at it from a macroeconomic perspective, to use a word that I've probably not used since my master's in finance, we've got the TAM here, total addressable market. So key thing on any brand is going to be how big is the actual market. I've launched brands before where you're into a smaller market. You might be top dog, but the market is capped, ceiling. How do you get higher? Well, maybe enter a bigger market to begin with. Global green superfood market, 1.1 billion. Category growth, 8 to 12% CAGR. So this is the annual growth rate. And the US share of this global one is 40%. So obviously US is the daddy here when it comes to revenue and the economy. And it's a growing market. I mean, you want to enter a market that is growing, because then you just need to capture a small portion when you're going to grow over time. Whereas entering a market that is in a downward swing or it's flat, it's very difficult. You need to carve out market share from your competition, which you can do, of course, but why not carve it out from the competition and the new acquisition? Especially in the replenishable niches. People are going to subscribe to something. They're not going to change it every few weeks, you know? So a growing market is a boon for a brand. Category tailwinds, growth drivers could rise in women's wellness. Okay, it makes sense. This will continue internationally as well. Morning routine, aesthetic culture. So aesthetics, increased attention to gut health and bloating. So we spoke a little bit about this earlier. TikTok discovery, Amazon purchase. Again, if you have really strong branding and you're speaking directly to a customer, then this can work. If you've got weak branding and you're trying to use TikTok to drive to Amazon, what do we know about Amazon? They've got a lot of competitors on the page, you know? So in that case, it probably makes more sense to drive it to a Shopify. You know, it doesn't make as much sense to drive to Amazon. And again, unless you have strong branding, you're speaking directly to the customer, you're getting the feedback that you've got raving fans, then maybe it's going to work, you know? But we want the pay per click to result in the data as well sometimes. So these are things you need to consider. Okay, competitive landscape. Yes, so key competitors are like Green Skew, Amazing Grass. We've seen a lot of these in here. Skew masculines. We spoke about this earlier too. This is obviously a beautiful strategic. Well, I don't know if she thought of it as a strategic decision, but it is one. So it's great. None built a female first identity, which is exactly what Maori did. Emotional segment, that feel good benefits, bloating, benefit relief, tastes good, aesthetic identity, approachable wellness. The segment had high review rates, high UGC creation, strong morning routine adoption, high retention. So this morning routine is something that works well on TikTok. A lot of the content that can go viral. This is how I do my morning. This will feature Bloom. So this is the strategic gap that Bloom Scale was optimizing for different consumers. White space, so aesthetic, wellness, and critical competitor set, flavor-led development, female first positioning, taste-led messaging, UGC-friendly rituals. Again, we talked about the morning. Premium but accessible. Again, we're not ultra premium. We're not AG1, but we're premium compared to the competition on Amazon. And that is the sweet spot. This white space allowed them to dominate without competing directly with AG1 or Huel. Yep, makes sense. Risks, relevant for founders. Okay, so these are some things to consider. TikTok volatility, supplements claim compliance, high CPC environment, reliance on external media, inventory disruption. Again, these are not really for us. I guess this is for Maori. I'm not sure she'd ever watch this video, but that's some risks to consider. Okay, beautiful. Look, let's get to the juice here, right? Let's look at the main takeaways. So category leader. So this is what I want you to be able to action today. And I've put a bit of time into this, making sure it's on point. So category leaders win by owning a position competitors can't or serve, not by having necessarily a better formula. So we spoke about AG1, masculine brand. Difficult for them to compete in this space against someone that's a female-driven brand with that buyer avatar, with that target audience. Can't compete as well, okay? Now, this is where Bloom comes in. So that's why they've strategically usurped them, at least on Amazon for sure, because they've been intentional behind the brand. So number one's powerful. Number two, clear consumer identity increases conversion. So who are you speaking to? We see in content, we see in lifestyle photos, we see in the demographic, you know. This is represented in the content of Bloom. It's going to increase conversion rate. It's going to lead more towards raving fans rather than these neutral, take it or leave it type people that are important for revenue, but it's not driving the brand. It's just not. So clear consumer identity. Keyword density beats breadth. So we spoke about this 80-20 and how most of the volume is coming from a few terms. And then optimizing the content around that. Content, main image, packaging, placements, bids, sponsor brands. A lot of this is going to be based around keyword density, not breadth. That no longer is the best strategy. Creative quality is now a performance lever that maturity lifts. Yeah, so it's not just branding. You don't want to be just consistency or familiarity, which is good. But you want something that like practically performs well. Click-through rate, conversion rate, trust, branded search. This is what you need to look for. This is it. This is the key. External demand from TikTok and Meta lowers Amazon costs by increasing branded search and conversion. Another key thing here. So these are all real juicy. Some real good stuff from this brand today. External demand from TikTok lowers Amazon costs and Meta. I don't need to explain that. Obviously, as I said, you're speaking to the customer, getting lots of awareness, consistency across the brand, Meta, TikTok, Amazon. They're searching for the brand on Amazon, therefore they're not doing pay-per-click. They're more likely to do organic. They're more likely to click around and eventually purchase you anyway. Conversion rate increases, branded search increases, profit goes up, and ACOS, TACOS, etc. goes down. SKU architecture should reinforce the hero SKU. Variations to expand buying surface, not dilute focus. Yeah, so SKU architecture, if you're being intentional around product strategy, you want to make sure you're obviously not taking away from the hero SKU. I mean, you obviously, how do I describe this? You've got to cannibalize your market. Now, what I mean by that is if you don't launch SKUs into that niche that are serving different areas, of course, it's going to spread some of this coverage from your hero SKU to maybe the secondary SKU. The reason you've got to do it is because if you don't, competitors will. And if competitors start pulling that, that's a problem. So there is a certain amount of depth you should have in each of your niches. And but the big one, variations. So the variation should, like a real brand is not just like, let's launch another product and let's bring in sales from SKU B. We got sales from SKU B. A real brand launches SKU A, and we've got the traffic here. Then they launch SKU B, which is serving the same target audience. So we've got, let's just say we've got 1 million people searching for this product. And we've got 1 million people searching for this product. It's not independent of each other, but they work together. So now you've got probably 2 million people being able to see this product and 2 million people being able to see this product. I mean, it might not be an exact plus, but let's say you're getting over half a million sessions because of this product is serving the same buyer avatar. Okay, and that's how you should expand your brand. That's how you really everything starts coming easier. All that organic coming in, it's beautiful. Okay, emotional benefits scale faster than functional claims. Yes. So again, this is kind of tapping into you can't have an emotional benefit if you're a generic brand targeting the whole market. It doesn't work. Emotionality is going to come down to being very clear on the buyer avatar, being very clear on the identity of your customer. And again, in this case, we've got, let's say, age 25 to 40, female, into fitness, cares about their health, might have some, maybe have bloating, Then you can speak to that customer because you understand who they are. I can't say everyone at the same time. So emotional benefits scale faster than functional ones. Yes. And there's a lot of benefits from having from tapping in emotionally. Aesthetic brands perform better on discovery. So yeah, we've seen a lot of beautiful aesthetics from Bloom today. And it's not any surprise that they perform well. And I wonder what the metrics are in this, but my intuition, as I just think on the fly here, is that more women doom scroll than men. Am I right? I don't know if someone has the answer to that, but my intuition is that more women doom scroll on the apps than men. And I'll need to back that up at some point. But again, tapping into a female-driven brand, female target audience, gold dust, absolute gold dust. And then Amazon works as a demand capture engine, not only your acquisition channel. So yeah, as I said, deep branding, deep knowing of the customer. Amazon can work to capture that engine. So they might see it on TikTok, they might see it on Meta, but they purchased on Amazon. Category winners operate systems, not tactics. So yeah, this is obviously the kind of on top as well. Got a lot of moving parts here, but each part, whether it's the Meta ads, TikTok, Amazon, they all reinforce each other. So they're all gaining inches and percentage points everywhere, and the retail works for all of them as well. They all reinforce each other. They all add. It's an exponential growth. It's not just as we've seen with the search one, it's not 1 equals 2 million. It's 1 plus 1 and an exponential. So they both gain from each other's volume. And that is exponential. It's not linear growth. And that is why Bloom has had the success they've had. So I've had a lot of fun doing this the brand breakdown. So I hope you've got some stuff here that is helpful for you. So Bloom didn't scale because of hype. They scale because their Amazon system is designed, was engineered to level attention at any time. Don't need virality, you need compounding system. So that's all from me today. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe and I will catch you on